Let me tell you something, and listen carefully, because this might be the last time someone says it to you before the world flips upside down. Rich people almost always win when they invest, and most of us, we just get wrecked. And it's not because they're lucky. It's not because they were born smarter. It's because they play a completely different game. They read a different rule book while the rest of us are still trying to learn the alphabet. Now, here's a hard number for you to chew on. According to Credit Suisse, over 87% of the world's wealth is owned by just 10% of people. And guess what? That 10% isn't working overtime. They're investing constantly, and not the way most people invest. See, while the average person is gambling on meme stocks, getting hyped up over TikTok crypto tips, the wealthy are buying cash-flowing assets, long-term businesses, land, and monopolies on real-world necessities. They aren't swinging for home runs. They're building bases over and over, while the rest of us are praying for lottery tickets. Take Warren Buffett, for example. The man made over 99% of his fortune after age 50. Think about that for a second. While most people at 50 are slowing down, he was just shifting into third gear. How? By understanding that investing isn't about getting rich quick. It's about staying rich permanently. It's about patience, strategy, and emotional control. Meanwhile, the average Joe panics at every market dip, sells low, buys high, and wonders why he's broke again at the end of the year. And you know what really separates them? Information. The rich have better information, faster access, better advisors, better deals. You and I? We hear the news after the house is already on fire. They smell the smoke from a mile away. According to a study by J.P. Morgan, institutional investors in the U.S. outperform retail investors by 3–5% annually on average. Doesn't sound like much? Compound that over 20 years, and the gap is astronomical. You're not just losing money, you're losing decades of freedom. And then there's the mindset. Man, the mindset is brutal. Most people invest emotionally. Fear, greed, panic, FOMO. Rich investors treat money like soldiers on a chessboard. No feelings. No mercy. No crying when a pawn falls. Just cold, calculated moves to capture the king. When Silicon Valley Bank collapsed earlier this year, you know what happened? Retail investors freaked out, withdrew billions, tanked the stock price, while big private equity firms circled like sharks and bought the bank's assets at a massive discount. Same story, different day. Let's not even talk about access to leverage. Rich investors know how to use debt like a weapon. They don't shy away from borrowing. They embrace it intelligently. They borrow cheap money to buy cash-generating assets that pay off that debt and spit out profits like a damn ATM. Meanwhile, the average person racks up 20% credit card debt to buy TVs and weekend vacations. It's not even the same game, my friend. It's like showing up to a gunfight with a water pistol. Now, before you get too depressed, let me tell you something real. You can learn their game. It's not rocket science. It's discipline. It's education. It's building your own information network. It's treating investing like a business, not a casino. That's why this channel exists, to give you free access to real business, investment, and financial freedom knowledge that the rich pay tens of thousands of dollars to learn behind closed doors. If you don't want to miss out, make sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and share this video with someone you care about. You owe it to yourself to start playing the real game. But I'm not done yet. Here's another brutal truth. Rich people never invest with their own money alone. They use other people's money, other people's time, other people's skills. They build networks, partnerships, syndicates. Meanwhile, most people try to go it alone and wonder why they get steamrolled. Look at Blackstone, the world's largest real estate investment firm. They raised over $65 billion in private capital last year alone to buy real estate globally. They're not spending their own money. They're leveraging their reputation, their knowledge, and their access to opportunities. You can do the same thing at your scale. Partner with people, build trust, multiply your firepower. And here's a little bonus secret. The rich don't just invest in opportunities. They invest in themselves first. Every damn day. Constantly sharpening their mind, building new skills, staying ahead of trends. A 2024 report from Deloitte showed that 90% of self-made millionaires read at least one nonfiction book per month about business, investing, or leadership. Meanwhile, Netflix just announced that Americans spend an average of 3.2 hours a day watching TV. You see the problem? The point is, it's not an accident. It's not destiny. It's daily choices. Stupid, boring, unsexy habits stacked day after day until the gap between them and the rest becomes a canyon so wide you can't even see across it.